Good evening and welcome to 630 Point of View. I'm Chris Berg. Thanks so much for joining us. We had a great little soundbite lined up there for an open, but I guess we missed that. Also, we're waiting on Congressman Kevin Cramer to join us live from Washington, D.C. I want to invite you to go to NorthDakotaStrawPoll.com. Again, NorthDakotaStrawPoll.com. Congressman Kevin Cramer has put together a straw poll to find out, hey, who do you want to vote for the GOP presidential election? We all know what happened on Tuesday. The Trumpster won huge in Nevada. That's 3 states in a row now for Donald Trump. In Nevada, he actually had more votes than Cruz and Rubio combined. The other interesting variable to take a look at there is obviously we've had huge record turnout. There's that word huge again. But record turnout in many of these primaries and the Iowa caucus. You got to start to wonder, is Trump on his way to winning the nominee? We're going to find out hopefully soon here from Congressman Kevin Cramer what his North Dakota straw poll is saying about that. The other piece I want to visit with Congressman Cramer about, I'm sure many of you have seen the news, Whiting Petroleum, North Dakota's top producer, has basically shut down fracking in the Bakken. I want to share with you what a ZeroHedge.com article had to say about this, and then kind of share why this is so important to know, especially as we head into this 2016 election, looking to find another governor. ZeroHedge.com said this: North Dakota's largest producer, we can bring this graphic up, please, Whiting Petroleum, would suspend all fracking across the state of North Dakota. What they're presuming as well is that Continental Resources has effectively done the same after reporting that it no longer has any fracking crews working in the Bakken shale. Now, why is this important? Well, there's a multitude, a myriad of reasons, but I think one of the key things, if you look at some of the recent budget forecasts that have been coming out from the Office of Management and Budget, the biggest place that we have missed forecast, at least our legislature missed forecast for our state budget, was in the sales tax revenue. When you see companies like this shutting down all fracking, that obviously is going to dry up even more that sales tax revenue stream that our state relies so heavily on. To give you an idea of how bad things have gotten, if you will, from a drill rig count, as of today, we right now have only 39 drills that are moving right now in the state of North Dakota. Just 39. To give you some perspective on what that means, just 4 years ago, we were at 204. So we went from 204 now down to 39. Thus, we're seeing obviously the huge decreases in revenues for the great state of North Dakota. But I think one of the most important things to note about this, because you can talk about rigs, you can talk about state revenue, but at the end of the day, we obviously want to bring this to people's dinner table. And according to Credit Suisse, and again, according to ZeroHedge.com, globally right now, we've seen a loss of 250,000 jobs. So there's been 250,000 pink slips that have been handed out just in the shale plays across the world. Again, where it comes closer to home is Texas, lost 30,000 jobs from just September 2015 to December of 2015. So the plummeting oil prices clearly having a huge impact on what it means for people being employed across this country. This just came out today. Halliburton, obviously a pretty famous name here in North Dakota, just said today that they're going to be cutting 5,000 more jobs. They're cutting 8% of their workforce globally. More pink slips, not good news for the state of North Dakota. We now have Congressman Kevin Cramer joining us from Washington, D.C. Congressman Cramer, as always, thanks so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity. Always a pleasure, Chris.
All right, we set up some context here, Congressman. I'm not sure what you heard or didn't hear here, but I do want to start with your straw poll. As you know, the Trumpster now has won 3 in a row. We've seen record turnout. What is your straw poll showing that you've been taking, I guess, for several weeks now?
Well, I started it right at the beginning of February. I'm going to run it through February, probably just past March 1st. And not surprising, probably, Chris. So far, North Dakota Republican voters are tracking pretty close to what's happening in other states. Donald Trump has a lead. I've had about 3,500 people participate. I was hoping to get 1,000, and so far we've had about 3,500 North Dakotans participate. But I will tell you that it shows you a little bit what happens when you participate in the Super Bowl, even from a distance. It's like FanDuel. But it's, you know, he's at about 35%, and Cruz and Rubio, though, are not that far behind him, both in in the 25% area, and we'll see what happens over the course of this debate tonight, and then the next week or so, and then I'll announce a final tally, and hope we can at least throw it in the mix of the game that I think is the most important game in presidential primary politics. I've said it forever. People can say that things are different than they've ever been. They are in many respects. But the theory of momentum still applies, and it's applying to Donald Trump just like it has to every other presidential nominee in the history.
Well, I agree. I mean, you look at Texas, if Cruz, and right now Trump is polling ahead of Cruz, at least in some polls in Texas. If Cruz doesn't win Texas, it's pretty much over for him, isn't it?
Well, even if Cruz wins Texas, he's supposed to, right? I mean, so when the standard is do what you're supposed to, that's not a winning standard. Yeah, I frankly, for all practical purposes, I'm a believer that it's nearly inevitable already. But let's play it out, see if something big can happen. But when you look at the things that have happened to this point that haven't hurt Donald Trump, it's hard to imagine what could happen that would.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you said it's inevitable. I'm hearing you say that Donald Trump's going to be the nominee when this is all said and done. Is that what you're saying?
I think there's a very good chance that could happen. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance that happen. I think it would take a sort of a monumental event to change it, and I don't see that happening. I certainly don't see calling for his income taxes to be revealed as the strategy that's going to suddenly break this thing wide open. Because I think tactics like that, frankly, and it's not that it's unimportant, but it is unimportant in the context of what voters are looking for. It is also unresponsive to the anger of voters, and it plays right into his hand when some candidates are making his tax returns the issue, when people want, they want jobs and free trade, appropriate free trade, and borders to be closed as the main issues. It just screams you're not listening to us.
All right, Congressman, I'm going to move on to Whiting Petroleum here in a moment. Let's make some news tonight. Are you willing to endorse Donald Trump tonight?
I'm not. I think it'd be unfair for me to be the straw poll guy in North Dakota and then endorse somebody. But I'm ready to work with him. Or I was fairly prominently quoted in the Wall Street Journal this week talking about what President Trump would be like to work with in Congress.
All right, let's move on to this, because I think this is a very important story, and I want to get you to share your thoughts about it. Whiting Petroleum shuts down all fracking in the state of North Dakota. Continental Resources now has no more crews here in the state. And I just mentioned before you came on, Congressman, that now we've seen, I think it was 30-some thousand jobs lost in Texas from September of 2015 to December. I mean, this thing is hemorrhaging. How bad is this for the state of North Dakota?
Well, Chris, first of all, I think we always have to put it into the longer-term context, and I think you've done a good job of that. We're not going back to 200 rigs ever, but having 39 is obviously devastating. And the rig thing, the rig count issue is very indicative of the future. The price of oil, of course, is part of the problem, but the price of oil is a reflection of the lack of, or the oversupply and perhaps lack of market. All of these things, there are the cycles of commodities, and they always have been. What Whiting and Hess and Continental and all the rest have to do, of course, is they have to respond to that by protecting their assets and their interests. We need them to do that because when the price comes back up, we need those rigs back working. But there's a cascading consequence to all of this, as you pointed out. Certainly, sales tax revenue obviously is going to get hit hard. But sales tax revenue is also a reflection of the consumer. And, you talk about Halliburton cutting 5,000 jobs, for example, globally. That's nothing compared to what I think is the big issue, and that is the mom and pops, the startups, the entrepreneurial innovators, the small companies that are either going to go bankrupt, close, or be acquired by somebody larger. But this is the natural cycle of a commodity economy.
So let's move on to a few other items here, Congressman. We've just got you for a few more minutes, but I want to get your thoughts on a couple of things quickly. One is this. We had you back on the night that Doug Burgum joined me, and you at the end basically said, hey, Chris, I think there needs to be some sort of debate. We are having a North Dakota governor's candidate forum Wednesday, March 2nd. Wayne Stenstrom has declined our invitation to be a part of this. Now, to be fair to him, he was going to be part of the debate Thursday night, the very next night, but he's declined our invitation. You were through, I think, 7 debates when you ran for Congress last time. Just want to get your thoughts on him not being part of this candidate forum.
Well, I think every candidate, Chris, has to make the decision based on what's going to, what's in their best interest, what's, what the strategy that works best for them would be. In making that decision, of course, you have to decide, what do I lose? in terms of reputation by not doing it, and what's the potential loss by giving giving a platform to my opponents. I'm sure those are the cost-benefit analysis that Wayne is doing, and I'm sure the others as well. So I don't blame him for it. I don't know what went into the decision. As you know, give me as many debates as I've got time for, and as many interviews as you can. I think people appreciate transparency in North Dakota, but again, everybody's got their own strategy, and may the best person win.
Speaking of debates, there's a very high likelihood, Congressman, that it could just be you and Jack Seaman debating this, upcoming congressional race. Your comments about you going head-to-head with a Libertarian here in the state of North Dakota.
Well, I think it would be a lot of fun. I think people would, hopefully they'd find it interesting. One of the most common lines Jack used when he ran last time when we had three-person debates was, "Well, I have to say I agree with Congressman Cramer on this." So he might have to look for a few more differences. But I think it would be unfortunate, to be honest with you. I don't think our system doesn't work well when there's one major party. I think we need good competition.
Congressman Kevin Cramer, always a pleasure, sir. We appreciate your time.
Pleasure's always mine. Thanks, Chris.
All right, stay with us. We're going to go live to Beth Hool in Indianapolis, Indiana. She's at the NFL Combine. We're going to have the latest for you on Carson Wentz. I'd always love to know your thoughts on, hey, Jack Seaman versus Congressman Cramer.